the montage, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like a lifetime ago.
It's very good.
Yeah.
As we saw, you've had such a successful career, but of course, you talk about your early career, and in a way, football back in the day when you were a child was a way of keeping you out of trouble, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, and for most kids who make it, you're from working class background, from round the corner in Camden Town, so football was the thing that. So I was actually quite a loner as a kid, so it was that thing that sort of brought me out my shell. And I didn't play a competitive game until I was nearly 12, which is really unusual. So, like, writing the book, you sort of go over these things, and yeah, here I am.
Here you are. And as you say, when you were around about 12, you know, you've been reflecting on that period in the new book. That would have been when you started at West Ham's academy, wouldn't it, when you were 12? So having some incredible players around you at that time. You've got Harry Redknapp, Neil Ruddock, Frank Lampard Senior, all in the mix.
Yeah, it was a bit of a... It was a few life lessons going on, about 15, 16, 17, going out with Neil Ruddock. He took me out on my first night out, and it ended up... He dumped me on my doorstep at about 6 or 7 as a kid. But it was good fun. Listen, Harry I love. He gave me my debut, and I still to this day is one of the best managers around. So I had a good upbringing.
So what can I just ask? What happens? You played for Chelsea and West Ham.
Yeah.
So when they play each other, what do you do?
Oh God, it's like when you're two kids fighting each other. You don't know who. You know, I was a Chelsea supporter as a kid, but when you've played and you sort of peek behind the curtains, you can't have that emotional attachment that a fan has. So once you start playing, it's all business. But my kids are Chelsea fans.
Right, there you go.
Oh, okay. Well, you talk about your relationship with your Chelsea manager, Jose Mourinho, in the book. And I think it's fair to say, isn't it, it wasn't always smooth sailing between you.
Yeah, no, like, that fascinates people because Jose's such a big name. And I think he's come from in an era where you see that picture there, look, clearly I've done something wrong in that picture there. Saw that quite often, that grey coat. No, I like the directness of it. You know, when you're trying to play football, there's no time for being wishy-washy. So he was very direct with me when he needed me to do something. And I think he sort of, you know, he saw something in me and he pushed me, and I'll be forever thankful for him. But from the outside, he was very critical at times. But sort of sometimes in football, there's no time to dilly-dally. You just be direct, and I appreciate it.
Well, a real taskmaster, as you say, Mourinho. You didn't really get to let your hair down, but you do mention one night out that you managed to kind of have behind his back in the book.
Yeah. No, that was when we were obviously young men in our 20s, and they thought it'd be a good idea to have a pre-season in Beverly Hills. So we were chomping at the bit for a night out, but we were smart enough to know we can't go out as a whole team together because it'll be two. So you sort of have sections of players within the squad. So the English boys sort of got together, the French boys would be there, and the Spanish, Portuguese boys. So the English boys thought it'd be smart to just creep out one night and hit the town. But all of the other groups had the same idea. So we got to this bar and ended up the whole squad was there anyway. So we ended up having a great night. I don't know whether Jose found out or not, but training was a little bit lighter the next day. But it was good. Listen, it was great being a footballer in the noughties, and we had a good time. And it was
no
good.
camera phones around by that point as well, happily.
And of course, you played for England alongside Beckham, who apparently is being knighted tomorrow as well. But look at the lineup. I mean, you know, that was the golden generation of football. That's what they call it. But what was your golden moment then for you personally?
Well, for me, just pulling on an England shirt. You know, I watched Gazza as a kid in the 1990 World Cup, and I fell in love with football. I can remember sitting there watching him around the little television and thinking, oh, that's what I want to do when I grow up. So just representing England was big, but scoring at the World Cup was pretty special. And every time, you know, I was very proud when I pulled on the England shirt. And the only thing is, like, we never quite got over the line and won it with quarterfinals and going out on penalties and things. And you just want that moment where one of the groups of players, they get to do it and win the World Cup. Just pray I see it.
Yeah, and of course World Cup coming up next year. What's it like for you then, Joe, to go from being a player to a pundit? What's the transition like?
Well, nothing ever will replace like playing, the adrenaline and that. But I think I've got the second best job now. I'll go there, I'll get to watch the best players in the world, you know, from a great seat, and then we'll have a glass of wine afterwards in the bar, and do it again the next day. I love my job as a pundit, I really do. But nothing will replace playing.
At least you don't have training early the next
day. Yes,
well, exactly.
That's true.
You can have the glass of wine, you see, guilt-free.
Yeah.
Joe's book, Luxury Player, is out this Thursday.
Still to